Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great one lineup for you today. But you know what today is now? Y'all know what today is. Now, if y'all don't know what today is, man, y'all know what today is. Today is what we call Way Out Wednesday. So the phone lines are open 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Give us a call and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about in this entire. We got with us this morning. We got Pastor Leonard with us this morning. Pastor Leonard. Good morning, Pastor. How you doing, sir? Amen. Amen, sir.
You know what? I actually forgot it was Wednesday
Uh-oh.
when you said it because I'm so used to. You know how I really know it's Wednesday?
How's that?
Usually, I talk to you on Tuesday night,
Yep, yeah, I know, right?
and that
Yeah.
lets me know.
It threw me off too, man. Like
Yeah.
I was doing some stuff, man, trying to get some stuff together. And
Uh-huh.
man, I tell you, it threw me off not being. I was like, man, it feel like, man, I'm supposed to be doing something right now,
Mm-hmm.
man, because it's been, like I said, it's been a good 12 years, man, 11, 12 years for a real men being men, and we really haven't missed any time,
Right.
yeah, we don't miss time off. But last night, man, like I said, I was getting ready for this meeting, this Zoom meeting tonight, and
Yeah.
Leonard, you with us tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm gonna tell you something, brother, and I can say this thing to 58 countries right now, Leonard. I'm counting on you a lot, man. I'm counting on you a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot, man, because this is gonna be something that's huge, man, and I think it's gonna make a huge difference. And I certainly don't know how to do all this stuff by myself, so I lean on people like yourself, Leonard, that's been doing this thing for a long time, man, to
Mm-hmm.
help this whole organization make it through. I count on you,
Definitely.
bro. I really count on you, man. So, if I didn't get a chance to say that to you earlier, man, I want to say that to you. I want to say that to you publicly, man. I'm really counting on you a lot, man, and I thank you, man. I really do. Thank you.
No problem, man. That's what we really believe that. A lot of folks talk about a lot of things like callings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to uh, assist, and so that's what I've been doing for so many years is assisting people with various visions
Okay.
of what they want because I think that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always done it for anyone that wanted to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes a big difference for people to sit down. You got to bounce your ideas back and forth
Mm-hmm.
in a way that no one has to feel as if they have something to defend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's the thing about it is really truly helping people because so many times people get these attitudes and
Mm-hmm.
man, it's crazy. But that's the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of working together with people and really trying to get solutions to problems.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, Leonard, today is Way Out Wednesday. So we open up the phone
Hmm.
lines. We call in. They talk about what they want to talk about, but we have to have something to talk about in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
And I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question, Leonard. With everything that's going on, man, there's an elephant in the room, and we have to deal with it
Okay.
and address it. But Leonard, with everything that's going on right now, Second Timothy, I think it's around the 13th verse. Well, actually, a lot of the whole verse, but it talks about perilous times.
Oh yeah.
Leonard, are we living in perilous times right now? Do you think these are perilous times?
Well, and it's from different points of view.
Mm-hmm.
Perilous times in terms of the ending of an age.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Perilous time in terms of biblical proportions. I'm not really sure
Mm-hmm.
because I do believe man has so much more to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that we are going to be able to live in peace for a little while. So I think that if we earnestly put forth an effort,
Mm-hmm.
the praying people,
Mm-hmm.
the believing people, the
Mm-hmm.
truly positive people will be able to get humanity through. But
Okay.
it's going to take genuine concern for humanity,
Mm-hmm.
not just your block, your neighborhood, your church, your color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really people that want to work together. Like this, what this whole thing was about, man. In
Yeah.
the beginning, was trying people of different, just coming trying to work together. I know a lot
Mm-hmm.
of African American black folks don't understand the concept of democracy to the point of where it had it been pure, it
Mm-hmm.
would be perfect For the very simple fact that one thing that has ruined us is racism.
Mm-hmm.
I believe above
It,
and beyond all the personal psychological things,
mm-hmm.
that racism, man, is horrible.
Okay, now is it. That's good, and you left me so many out from that thing, man. Is it an inner racism? Is it a broad? Is it toward us, or is something that we perpetrate toward other people as well? What aspect of the racism are you talking about?
Well, the first aspect of racism for an individual to have a notion in his mind that he would be supreme due to the color of his skin.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
is a human defect,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Leonard,
been. Go ahead.
hold on. Oh man, and Leonard, man, God Almighty, boy, you on the road this morning. Do you think? Do you think that could be in some walks of life determined to be a mental illness, that they have a mental illness in thinking that?
No, I'm not going to give them that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mental illness
Mm-hmm.
at all because it's something that they can control.
Okay, but do they want to?
No,
Mm.
they're that wicked people are wicked. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they. That's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
There's no explanation. They are wicked people,
Mm-hmm.
and they believe in wickedness to survive. They wake up every day with dissension, rob, stealing, and killing on their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever get it twisted that, I know there's a school of thought where all human beings are good
Mm.
and born on a clean slate.
Mm.
For a minute,
Leonard,
for a
I don't,
minute.
I don't, I don't know. Even if for that minute, I would say that because a lot of times they say that your children will bear the sins of their fathers.
Well, it just depends. God is a loving and forgiving God.
Mm-hmm.
When God don't ain't gonna go out of His way to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to be. If you brought them sins on yourself, yes, it could possibly be that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not to, like people say, alcohol. It's not a generational curse.
No,
It's
no,
a behavior that you enjoy that gets out of control.
mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
true.
it's all about, to me, it's all about the ability to control yourself
Mm-hmm.
and
Or,
being able to, really being the master of your fate.
mm-hmm. Ability to control yourself or the lack of.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
either way. I think that sometimes people, I'm not sure you may know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame other people for my issues.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
I did something because of you. No,
Mm-hmm. You
no,
made me do this.
no. Me and my wife was laughing yesterday. She says, "You're kind of an a-hole,
Got
right?"
him. Mm-hmm.
But I've always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
For the very
So
simple fact, I don't go with the flow. I don't go along with wrong. I'd rather
mm,
be by myself and right than with a crowd of fools.
and wrong. Exactly. Exactly. Now, we're talking about perilous times right now. These are perilous times. I'm gonna read scripturally what it said.
Hmm.
It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boastful, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affections, truth breakers, false accusers, incompetent, fierce." Man, and it goes on, and I could go on and on and read the whole thing, man. But are those the days that we're living in right now? And I'm going for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Are those the times that we're in right now?
But man, I be ragging on the church about some things,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
and
do.
because certain things I've heard all my life. But I'm trying to think when were times not perilous?
Mm.
When
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't alive.
Mm-hmm.
You can read all that stuff. That's Rome.
Mm-hmm.
That's Rome all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
thought I thought you said that was wrong. I was like,
oh,
oh no.
no, that was
Ooh.
various empires. Various
Mm-hmm.
empires and civilizations have gone through the same thing. So
Yeah.
the message is to an age, to a time, to a people.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that were here that are no longer here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
wiped out.
Mm-hmm. And a comedian, I think it was Small Fry.
I remember her.
Yeah, Small Fry was funny, man. She was. She said, "You know what, man? People dying ain't never died before, man." When she said that, man, that's the kind of
It helps put things in perspective.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what that's what education is about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It helps you put things in perspective.
Yeah, and see, and Leonard, you're a comic as well, Pastor Leonard. I call you Pastor Leonard now. He gave a beautiful prayer this morning, y'all. I call him Pastor Leonard. That's Pastor. Y'all address me as Pastor Leonard. When y'all talk to him, y'all call him Pastor Leonard. But listen, what it is, man. As a comic, Leonard, as a comic, there's so you could say that sometimes they'll get it immediately, but sometimes on the ride home. On the ride home, it'll hit them, and they'll just break out and start laughing. See that right there. If
you have to.
Yeah, if you wasn't paying attention to what she said, and when she said people are dying now that ain't never died before,
right?
That's a heck of a statement right there, man.
Exactly, man. Hey, it's so funny because that's why I love comedy and I love comedians because it's the last frontier of just rawness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you gotta say it the way it is. How that's what makes us all so different is that perspective.
Yeah.
And all of us can have a lot of different perspectives. And if you can't laugh at it, if you don't find nothing interesting, like my mind goes wild places. If your mind don't go wild places, man, you missing out. You can't always be all the man. Come on, man.
Hey, I gotta say this to you, brother. I gotta say this to you, man. Laugh a lot. He's watching the broadcast this morning.
I love laugh, man.
And he said Pastor Leonard.
Laugh makes your soul happy, man.
Yeah, exactly. Man, that's a funny brother, man.
Yeah,
I tell
man.
You get an opportunity, and that brother's coming anywhere close to you. You need to go see that brother, man.
I sent a notice to a comedian that I used to go see a lot. At the Atlanta Comedy Theater, Alton.
Yeah, no,
man. His name is Alton, right? And man, it's just naturally funny.
Yeah.
And he used to do a lot of hosting and things like that. And he did some stuff online about being a preacher and all that type of imitating preachers. Man, it's the funniest thing in the world.
Exactly. See, and
let's say good morning to this superhero.
You talking about right there?
She's just radiant today.
You're talking about Rapunzel. You're talking about.
I was thinking more like real Stormish, actually.
Oh, the Storm. Yeah, the Storm. Yeah, man, the Storm.
From the X-Men,
Yes, sir. Hold on, she got to look up. Young lady.
That was good, Leonard. That was good.
Storm look today.
Exactly. Look at him.
I love my movie.
Hey, Christy.
Love y'all.
Let me tell y'all something. These women is on Curtis in the Bishop schedule. They're on Curtis and the Bishop schedule.
And I love your hair. Thank you, girl. Thank you.
Lord, my Jesus. Look, Leonard, you see what we up against, man. You see what we up against. Ladies, good morning, y'all. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm sorry I was running a little bit late. I've been having a few health issues, so I'm a little off, but I'll be okay.
Oh, okay. Got you. Everything good. We're talking about, this is Way Out Wednesday, and we're talking about until people start calling, and we do have a caller. We're going to get to the call in just 1 second. We're talking about perilous time, or these perilous times, and I read it, 2 Timothy, or like your president say, 2 Timothy.
I was gonna make the clue.
Did not. He ain't say that, did he?
Yeah, he said, look, he was reading something out. He said, instead of saying 2 Timothy, this joke, he made too many trips in the Bible. He said, 2 Timothy says.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. I'll try to pull up and play it for you.
He didn't say that.
Hey, hold on, watch this. Hey, laugh a lot. I'm a lying laugh.
No, you telling the whole gospel.
Oh my God, he don't got in there and tried to quote the Bible.
He said 2 Timothy. I said,
he did it.
2 Timothy. I love our president. What he said last night?
What he say?
He said this here, y'all got to love this cat. He got to be the 7th president since they put light bread in the bag. You know what I'm saying? He said it's been hundreds of governors been calling him. Ain't it's 24 Democratic governors and 26 Republican governors. It's been hundreds of governors.
That's your. That's your.
And you trying to quote that man, Raheem?
Yeah, hey, that's him.
Get what he said this morning. Get what he said. He tweeted this morning.
What'd he say?
He said he did more for the black communities any president since Abraham Lincoln.
Good Lord.
Jesus.
That's
Let me tell y'all this right quick. Get my friend called me and told me the other day.
What that?
He said, "Lad." He said, I'm gonna ask you. I said, yeah. I said, go on, ask. He said, you wanna go protest. Get what I told him.
What's that?
I said, you forgot I'm fat. and my legs roll together. I ain't got time for that. And I got breakfast. Nobody got time for that.
Don't be telling big people secrets.
Uh-oh. He said, don't be telling big people secrets. Oh, my Lord. But listen.
I told you, my legs rubbed together like I had black eyed peas between my legs. I don't
Oh, my goodness.
I said, you know what? I say nowhere in the world I said I can run in no church shoes. That's all I got.
Oh, my goodness.
They walk in protest with their church shoes on and be trying to run and mess around and slide and fall. I'll be right there to protest. They be the rant on me like the trampling. You got to then running with the bulls. When the bulls try to run with the bulls.
Yeah.
And it gets trampled down. That's how I be laying like that and squeaking to me. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm not doing it.
Look at
I'm not doing it.
So when it's time to run, when it comes time to run, you'll just sit down and say, y'all just caught me. Y'all caught me.
No. If you know better, you do better. See, I know my lane. I know my lane. See, I know I can't run. I know I can't run off the top.
Yeah.
So why am I gonna put myself in a predicament where I look like I got to run?
Yeah. It don't make no sense.
I know that tear gas. But I'm gonna ask y'all something. Can I ask y'all something right quick?
Ask the question.
Is the corona gone?
No. They acting like it is, but it ain't going nowhere, brother. It ain't going nowhere.
Start protesting.
Oh my God.
Corona is right there. Corona is right there. Ain't going nowhere, brother.
I mean, but think about this here, man. It's been thousands of people gathering in the streets for the last 8 days.
And
I mean, and they act like ain't no more corona here.
No, you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what that is. I'm gonna tell you what that is. I'll laugh. I'll get to say Leonard. I'm gonna tell you what that is. What it is, man. See, you got 50. Say you got 50 governors because you got 56. So you got 50. That other is the other 50 governors that's gathering together, and they want to get with the first 50 so the 100 governors can come together and do something good, man. It's a governmental meeting. It's a town hall meeting of all the governors, 100 governors. 100 governors.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, but I just didn't want to say it.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
You know what? You know that since you said that though, Raheem, since all them 100 governors.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look, I'm trying to see what I try to do is bring a clear and a conscious understanding, and I think I just did. I brought a clear and a conscious understanding.
You did that, even though you know what I'm saying. But I was thinking about it when you said you gonna run for president. I want to ask you: you think it'll be a short term?
Look at Leonard. See, I couldn't. Leonard. I muted everybody. Mic. I saw Leonard last. I said, I'm gonna leave his mic on because I know he done covered his head up and all kind of things. Look here, Leonard gonna be my vice president. Yes, it's gonna be a double short term. It's gonna be a double short term.
Yeah,
that is so funny.
Y'all get elected on Tuesday and it be over with.
Oh man!
So we're gonna make it through the day. We're gonna at least make it through the day.
Let me tell you how much. Let me tell you how much I used to protest. I used to laugh made me think about it. That's why I started laughing so hard. And let's say I had a surgery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a vasectomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many years ago. So we did a protest. I had the surgery, and it's an outpatient surgery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you know I put on them Timberlands and took my butt out to that protest and walked all that way?
Mm.
And I was hurting so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be there for it was at the time where the young man was in prison for the relationship with the girl. And remember, they had a whole law, Romeo and Juliet law came out of that, where if the young people having relationships within school,
Mm-hmm.
and you get that point where you're a senior, right, or something of that nature, and you still have other girls that go to the school that are younger than you, but if
Mm-hmm.
you come to a certain age and you're dating a girl that's 16 and you're 17, 18, that could be an issue.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
remember, this young boy was in jail.
Mm.
And it was out, I think the attorney in Gwinnett County had to change it all. And
Mm.
so, man, I thought of that when he talked about he big and the stress of the matter and looking at my friends out there right now in the midst of COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we
Mm.
was just screaming 6 feet social distancing the day before.
Exactly.
And now
Exactly.
these people piled on top of each. How you gonna not hug people?
Mm-hmm.
How are you not
And
gonna embrace people?
you know what? I'm gonna tell you what happened to me, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to me, man. I got somebody came and sent me something yesterday, and I show. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up and show it to y'all. They they said I'm spreading corona, COVID-19. And I said, what are you? I said, I don't even have. What are you talking about? They said, well, you every day you tell people to go out there and get somebody a hug. How they gonna hug somebody in the midst of this pandemic? Christy,
You know what?
mm-hmm.
You know what, Raheem?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. You know that that what you do say at the end of this broadcast. You've been saying that for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go hug somebody
Give them a hug
and let them know you. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
but that's right. When the church open back up, turn to your neighbor. It's gonna be obsolete.
Look, it might not have no neighbor. The neighbor might be way on down 2 or 3 people on the pier, but because church ain't gonna be the same, brother.
And I know Christy seemed like the type of person that make you have to hug her.
And I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you hug a lot, Christy?
Yes, you do.
You can tell because she smiles all the time.
Look, I love hugging people, and I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna tell you something. But during this pandemic, I done kind of curtail my hugs, and I give air hugs and elbows. And I say I love you, but I can't touch you because I don't want this stuff. So I'm still a hugger. Cause I'm gonna be honest, this lady came in my office and she was just distraught and crying. I have my little mask on, and I'm saying, "It's okay." I'm there with you, but I couldn't hug. I couldn't bring. I wanted to hug her, I really did, but I just couldn't do it because I was like, "Oh my God, I got kids, I got a mom." If I get this COVID-19, I'm about to bring death to my family. How would I live by myself?
It's horrible, ain't it? Ain't it horrible?
But the people that I do hug some people. I still hug some people. I just have to be careful.
So
but I don't have coronas. I'm 10 toes down without coronas.
Okay, so Chris, what I'm hearing you say is that hugging ain't to die for.
Oh man.
That hugging
you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. The only person that's gonna die for you has already died for you, and that's Jesus Christ. That's it.
And it's such a dynamic, because me having, my wife is a little impaired immune situation and things. So I have to be very careful. We try to do the best we can. And I was thinking of that time when I was in that march on what made me just have to get out there, regardless of the danger. I still was out there but this was just danger to myself. I can't imagine being out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I mean, I don't know, man. And when I get a sense of I don't need to be somewhere, or I need to kind of, how sometimes the spirit will lead you in the best option for you.
Exactly.
And so all the times in my life, even as a little boy, where I've chosen not to do something because of a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
I've helped preserve myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the issue, man. Shout out and much love to my friends out there, man. Man, I pray for them so much.
Absolutely.
Because I know they can't help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They can't.
Let me read this, y'all, because what we're talking about right now is perilous times. Perilous times, what we're talking about right now. So I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna go to Anna, and we're gonna read 2 Timothy 3:1. Well, we're not gonna read the whole thing. We're just gonna read a few of them.
The 2 Timothy. You gonna read the 2 Timothy?
2 Timothy. We read 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy. It says this. It says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boastful, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy." Now I could keep on going. There's a lot that it says there, but Anna, are we living right now in perilous times?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's not, you should have kept going because there's so much more that goes on. Again, I'd like, if somebody did watch whatever your commander in chief said, I'm not sure what that interview said. I'm not going to watch it because I know it had to do with the riots. That's the world that we're all living in. Those times. I've seen, and the call we got yesterday, a mother had just lost her child. This family had just lost their child, and the church couldn't even help. You're too proud to help, or you don't have the money because you have to do other things in the church. I think God gives us all certain gifts and talents to help
I'm
others.
not able to take your call.
To help others. From there, we have to be able to decide, okay, how can I use this talent for his kingdom, right? But it's getting to the point where you have children disrespect. I saw in my children's school this last year, I saw a little 16-year-old cousin her grandparents out, and I just looked like, oh no, like this not I don't care, no, and I'm just looking because I'm like, I wanted to pop the little girl for them. I'm gonna teach her a lesson, but of course you can't because then you're gonna go to jail. So I'm just looking. I looked at my child, my teenager daughter, and I said, do me a favor, do not hang out with that child anymore, because if you say to me what that child has said to her grandparents, you are in a world of hurt, you see? And it's selfishness. It's like, you have to do this, or I need this done now, and stuff like this. Children getting raped, and it's okay. Everybody turns their faces. And I know it's gone on all through history, but now I think it's more than usual. And the only other explanation I can give, if it's always been this way, is technology. Technology has made it worse.
Wow.
That's just my opinion. If that's the case, that this has always been going on, like I hear some people say, then the problem is technology.
Exactly. Let me go to Christy. Christy, what's on your heart? Are we living, Christy, in perilous times?
Definitely living in perilous times. I mean, only thing is I'm gonna make y'all laugh, because back when I was a kid, my grandma used to say, "We're living in the last days, y'all. The end of the world is coming." And me being the quirky little kid that I was, I got scared. I say, "Mommy, it's the last day. We all finna die. When is it come? When is it happening, Mommy? When?" She say, "Baby, I don't know the time nor the place." So I used to always have a backpack.
Lord Jesus. See, y'all
because
cool me
I
up
was
again.
scared. But all jokes aside, but we are living in perilous times. We can see the way the world is, and all the Bible's going to fulfill itself. So that's one thing that we have to know, and it's starting to happen more prevalent now. Mothers against daughters, fathers against sons. You have wars, rumors of wars. So we already know Jesus is going to come. He said you can tell that it's getting close by the sign, by the things that are happening. But no man know the hour or the time when Jesus is coming back. But he's coming back for a church without a spot or wrinkle. So the only thing that I would tell everyone, you better live rapture ready. Be ready, because if you don't live rapture ready, then you're going to be tortured and tormented for the rest of your life. And you're going to be able to feel, you're going to be able to, it's going to be hot. I'm just saying, get saved, get sanctified, say you're sorry, repent, turn your heart to Christ. Make sure he know that you on his side.
My people, and we can always say, you know what doesn't bother me? Because like what Christy said, we've heard these things so long till at this point we must be thinking about them not just figuratively, but rationally as well. This is a condition of mankind. Like we was talking before other people came on. It's very cyclic. You know what I'm saying? And no, my fault. Forward, like linear. There are civilization after civilization have these issues. This is why that gospel message is so important. Now, my people have already been through hell.
Come on.
You understand? Like what Chrissy was just saying. What Anna was just saying. Our people have been through that. Think about it. We've been through that. You talking about raping and things like that. And then on the other hand, Chrissy talking about the heat all day, every day. Think of the life of slaves, of black slaves by the thousands, forced to live in that existence. That would be hell for you.
Yeah.
But they made it. And a lot of folk, I used to tease preachers. I was like, boy, like Christy said, if you've heard that since you was a child, something you should say, well, what, according to whose schedule is it the end of days? I believe that we have those scriptures for the fact that God warned us about ourselves, about what we would do. And that's why we're here now, because what we would do. Look where we're at.
But see, a lot of time people also say that and laugh could our co-sign would be on this right here. One day is like 1,000. How does that thing go? Laugh 1,000 days.
Yeah.
It's one day. It's to 1,000. It's one day. It's like 1,000 years to Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
And so
one day, saying to 1,000 years on this earth. Like one day with him. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand something. Just like a lot of things been said, we cut up. But let me tell you something. Me personally, I felt like if God seen us go through all this, what we've been going through from the beginning of the time, this is Linda stated, we seem like we've been in hell for a long time. And to still turn around because of we had to retaliate and not to be mistreated. Because why would you want us to just sit here, like a gentleman stated, he said, when you're in silence and they're harming you and you don't say nothing while they're harming you, just like you don't have a voice, you just want them to kill you and don't say nothing. You want your life just to be took out. But just like we've been hearing that forever, we're in the last days. These days right here, what we're in right now, it's been seeming like the last day for the longest, brother.
Yeah.
Because and then when the statement was made, "Make America Great Again," and a white individual said, "When have it been great for African Americans?
Yeah.
When have it been great for the Native Americans?" And see, right now we are the only people that have not had any kind of reparation. That everyone else was privy to. Okay, look at the Native Americans. They gave them reparations for taking their land. They turned around and gave them enough money to build casinos, hotels, and preserve the reservations that they don't have to pay taxes on the reservation. Look at the people of the Jewish Holocaust. These people wasn't even from this country, but was detained in the time of Hitler, but they would still turn around and gave reparations. But we was enslaved for so many years, and so many things were took, burnt down. 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. First time it was a bombing on American soil. They burnt down black businesses, took away families, killed blacks because they was unified. And you saying hell? We've been living through hell, bro.
Exactly.
And we continue to go through this. How many cheeks do you, how many, you remember you want to have the conversation? And you saying this. How many times you got to turn your cheek, bro?
Yeah. Exactly. Let me go to Donald. Donald Toussaint. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Donald,
Good morning.
we're talking about, are we living in perilous times, brother? Are we living in perilous times?
We're scratching the surface. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody's saying, we've seen perilous times. Yeah. We've seen it a lot. I mean, our ancestors have seen it. But we hadn't seen nothing yet. When
Don, let me ask you this.
When the whole world sees it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question right here, Don, and I want to get back to what you're saying. But if any other group of people had to endure what we as black and brown people have gone through, would they make it? Do you think they make it?
Suicide.
Wow.
See, we used to not commit suicide. We'll endure it. But people, you know, they got some money and they lose money, they jump off a bridge because they don't know how to handle it. You know, if give and you know, I, just be honest, I don't like the guy. I pray for him, but I don't like him. 45.
Yeah.
Trump. Trump. I don't care for him because he got a wicked spirit. And he hadn't seen nothing yet. Yeah, I know the judge. But when the judge shows up, he's gonna be one that says rocks fall on me.
Amen.
He's gonna be one of them.
Yeah.
All of these people that's getting away with stuff, that think they are getting away with mutilating people and killing folks and hiding behind certain offices and badges or whatever the case may be. When the judge shows up, and let me say something about perilous times. If we would just, and I'm not perfect. I got some issues. I've done some things that I'm reaping what I've sown. But when we get to the point that if you just do the right thing, if you just try to yield and honestly and earnestly walk in the will and the way of the Lord, your child will turn against you. That's when the father and the son and the mother and the daughter will disagree. When you stand on the word, you stand on the precepts and the commandments and the statutes of God, you'll see some perilous times.
Exactly.
Because the wickedness of man will start showing up more. Because the people of God will start living the way that they're supposed to. When pastors and preachers and teachers and all of us that are the household of faith start doing what God has ordained us to do, then you'll see something. You'll see it then. I don't say much, but there it is.
There it is. And you put it out there that time, brother. You put it out there. Christy, what's on your heart?
Chrissy? Basically, I'm here. I had to hit the mute button. Y'all gotta forgive me. You know, it's like everyone is saying that, you know, we truly, truly are living in perilous times, and it's been said in the beginning. But one thing that we have to understand, we still living here. And I'm like you, we already know other people can't deal with what we deal with as a race and as a body, as black and brown people, because the first time they get into a situation, they want to commit suicide, just like you said. Look at the officer that he on suicide watch. You was man enough to do what you did, but now you want to sit here and act like a person. It almost came out. But you want to you want to be a coward, and you want to tell, you want to tuck your tail, and now you want to commit suicide. Any other person that receives loss or lose family members, sons, daughters, been raped, molested, have all this stuff that happens to. And I'm not saying it just happened to black and brown people, but I'm saying it happens to black and brown people more prevalent. And we always get up with our head held high. We always stand up. Like Maya Angelou, my favorite poet and author, still we rise. Even at the brink of distinction, we rise. Even at our men being incarcerated and getting excessive amount of time, still we rise. In the brink of George Floyd, we rise. In the brink of Aubrey, we rise. In the brink of all the things that have happened, yet we still rise. You have tried to put our people down for years, centuries. Centuries have you tried to manipulate our people, destroy our people, to enslave our people even though more. And the beauty of it is that we are a resilient people. That's how I know we're kings and queens, and that we have statue, is because who can come into a country they don't know nothing about, forced to be here, learn your ways, learn your language, and then come out and learn your laws and use them against you to become free, to end segregation, to end slavery, to now to put pressure on the police force. We are a resilient people when we come together in unity as kings and queens like we are supposed to.
Exactly.
So, yes, we are living in perilous time, but we have to place our mark right now. Because we're living in perilous time doesn't mean we have to just give up, because we don't know. Nobody knows when Jesus is going to come back. Nobody knows. Nobody knows when this world is going to end, but you live rapture ready. Live rapture ready, Raheem.
All right, preacher. All right, preacher. Okay, now, preacher. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Andrea Braxton again, and I'm calling from Latonia.
Hey, Andrea, how you doing?
Hey, Andrea.
Yes, I'm doing very good, very good. How are y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, sister. We'll talk. This is on Way Out Wednesday. Somebody, if you have it on speaker, take it off speaker because we're getting that feedback. Take it off speaker for me. Okay, good deal.
Okay, I got it now.
All right, good deal. What we're talking about, this is Way Out Wednesday. We actually talk about anything that's on anybody's heart to call in. So if there's a topic you want to talk about, we'll talk about that. But right now, we're talking about, are we living in perilous times? Are we living in perilous times? All the stuff that's going on. Do you think these are perilous times?
Yes, sir. I think we've been in perilous times for a minute. I think we've been here. I think we've been winding up for a long time. Like my grandma used to tell me when I was a kid, we're living in perilous times, and as you see, things has progressed. So I really do believe we've been in perilous time longer than we think we have been.
Can we remove ourselves from this equation without transitioning? What do we need to do?
What do we need to do is just go back to the key. We just need to just find ourselves, and just now is the time we need to find out who we are. We need to find out our goals. We need to find out what we can do to make it better.
Exactly. That's good. Laugh, what's in your heart? Leonard, coming to you next. Laugh, you there? I'm gonna have to go ahead and
I'm here, bro.
wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to
Yeah,
sleep.
I had to put my phone on mute, man.
Okay. What do you say to that, man? And across the board is being said that we are actually living in perilous times right now. So, Lav, what do we need to do as a people? What do we need to do to make it better, make it better for ourselves?
Well, there's a number of things to do, and we have already done that.
Mm-hmm.
We have accepted the situation and we have adjusted to it.
Mm-hmm.
See, because you got to realize something. Just like I heard someone state earlier, when someone of another color or something, saying not all ethnicities have that same mindset. If something go wrong, some bills don't get paid, they kill themselves. But I have known Caucasian people, if something lights get turned off in their house, they feel like they don't feel Becky and the kids.
Mm-hmm. He said
they gonna want to take their life.
He said Becky and the kids.
But we go get candles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We go get candles. We adapt to our situation. And even though these times seem the way that they are, once you have been in something for so long, you become accustomed to certain things happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you look for them. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Me personally, I was not expecting this protest to be as big as it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it don't reach Paris, it don't reach all the way to Paris, New Zealand, and everybody's saying the same thing. They're tired of seeing us have the perilous time that we're having, and we needed to be treated better.
The world is speaking.
So sometimes you don't have to say anything for yourself, because see, God will have other people speak for you.
Come on.
That's just like when your situation have been to the point that they're just like, prime example, when I was praying and I needed situations to help be took care of, for a financial situation to help with, people came through like Anna and just been a blessing out of someone, God speaking to her heart. The other ones that came in and helped, because sometimes you don't have to say a word, because on your knees could be the biggest fight that you could ever have, win. If you're on your knees and God hear your prayer, because trust me, He hear you, He see you, but you got to be able to understand that we have been adapting to perilous time for so long, brother. It done became the norm.
Exactly. Leonard, are we as a people, and we've been through so much. We've been through so much as a people. And this is a personal question that everybody may have a different answer to. But Leonard, are we or have we been too forgiving?
No, we haven't. And when I hear people say that, it's always the people that don't forgive nobody talking trash. And you know me, I'm one for calling people out. I don't care nothing about this, that, or the other. You have to give it up over a period of time. If you sit and listen to half the things people say, time run out, and it proves them a lie. And I hear people, we too forgiving, we too forgiving. You ain't even Christian. What you know about forgiveness? What is it to you? Half the people that have been killed, how you know they Christians? You ain't been doing nothing. Guess what a lot of black people were doing? Going to school, getting an education, taking advantage of opportunities and resources, and making something of themselves. That's what a lot of black people been doing. So when you get to talking about who forgiving, who are for this, we don't forgiving people. There's no such thing as forgiving as a people. Think about it.
No, stay right there. What do you mean when you say that?
You can't forgive as a people. You
Why
can't do it because it's personal. It's personal.
And we're talking about individual. We're talking about individual.
Yes. So who have you really forgiven? Who have you really forgiven? Who have you forgiven?
We're not personalizing this conversation, but for a second I will say I forgive people every day.
Right, because of you, because of what they do to you.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you say you can't forgive, I don't agree with that.
How do you forgive too much?
That's a very good question. How do you forgive too much? But my answer to that is this: how do you not forgive enough?
I mean, it doesn't. When you think about it, just hearing it said makes you think about this, that, and the other. But the thing which really makes it strange is so many people say it.
Let me say this. Let me say this to you. And the basis of my question was this: over the 400 and some years that we've been here in America, everything has been done to us. You can't name anything that has not been done to us as a people. And that's the basis of my question. I'm saying, have we been too forgiving to the point where it got us to where we are right now with this whole situation? Because this whole thing that's going on right now, I'm gonna tell you something, and this is just me talking. This whole thing that's going on right now, it has a lot to do with George Floyd, but it does not have everything to do with George Floyd.
Oh, okay, I understand. I think where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
Okay, you talking about forgiveness and because I don't. See, I haven't forgiven anyone. I hope they die and burn in hell.
Hold on, you just said you can't. Hold on now. You just said, God almighty. Go ahead, Leonard. But
I'm just saying, you people don't. We forgive. Well, first of all, who did you forgive and for what? I don't understand. I pray that the wicked die and go to hell. What do you do?
Hold on. We're gonna stop you right there, brother. Hold on, man. Hold on.
I mean, I'm just saying, that's where it comes to a crossing point with. I pray against my enemies, not for them. I pray that they die quickly.
But Leonard, you got to be careful with that, brother, because some people will say
I don't have to be careful because I'm ready to transition.
Oh, you ready to go?
So I don't have to be careful. Nothing about me has to be careful for the very simple fact I am God created me to be this way. I don't have to fear any man. Period. The careful man believes he's got some fear in his heart somewhere when it comes to this situation. So one, I do understand where Christians and forgiveness and all that go together, I guess. However, this notion somehow that the devil gonna be saved is absolutely ridiculous. So why would you pray like that?
So what you're saying, and you just threw a mouthful out there, man. You said that with the mindset of a person thinking that the devil's gonna be saved, that's not a reality.
No. Unless you change and change your ways, I don't have no love. I can't fathom it.
If those that are called by my name,
that's right,
humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways. Anna, what's on your heart? We're gonna go to the phone line after you. What's on your heart, Anna?
So I just want to say, because it was mentioned earlier that around the world, they are, I guess, backing up, the whole Black Lives Matter movement. I shared it twice. It was in 2 different locations in Puerto Rico, and I'm sure it's happening across the island. Man, they can make a party out of anything. I'll say that. There was dancing. They were telling the police, how dare you guys? I mean, there should be better training than that. And I actually did 2 videos where if you guys need translation, I'm here for it. I am so proud of my people and what they've done to back up, because of course we are also United States citizens. And with the Black community, they are our Black brothers and sisters who we tremendously love, because that's what runs through our DNA. And I'm just kind of looking at it and looking at a I'm sure that picture probably had to go on the front page of the newspaper. It just has the fist up, the Black Lives Matter, the Puerto Rican flag, and they're sitting there with an instrument ready to play, some type of drum or something. So it's just really outstanding, because I've seen it was peaceful. They did it with love. It wasn't like a lot of these protests that I've seen across the nation and around the world, because a lot of them were very negative. But it makes me so much more prouder to be Puerto Rican, to know that so many people support this cause, because it's not only a name of George Floyd, it's a name of so many others. They're tired, and just to stand right there in front of the police and say, why do you guys keep doing this? Why do you guys keep murdering? Because remember, we're citizens, so they all have contact with each other. Why do you guys questioning them? And that's what should be done out here in the United States. It's like I really don't get the looting. I really don't get a lot. I get the one burning. Okay, burn one police car. They're trying to stress a point. I understand, but I don't get all the extras. I mean, it was done so organized, it almost seems like, and with love. However, if you guys get a chance, I shared both videos on my page, and I just want you guys to see that, you know, they put up the Puerto Rican flag, they put up the sign with the Black Lives Matter, and it just, to me, I'm just so much more prouder to be of Puerto Rican descent and know that my people are doing this in the island of enchantment, which is always home for me, no matter what, because that's where my family's at. So that's all I wanted to say.
Right.
Yes.
Can I say something right quick?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I understand what Anna said, but you know what? In the same token, when she says she don't get the looting and rioting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to understand something. This comes from years of aggression and frustration that have been built up when they had burnt people's homes, burnt crosses in people's front yard. Now, think about this. Now, white America has certain privileges. Now, check this out. It was a basketball game, and the team won the championship. They burnt cars. They flipped over cars. They knocked out windows. They ran through the street, and it was labeled as a group of college kids just excited about a win. But the same narrative was done that we do. But you got to realize something. They have took stuff from us for years. They have took two wrongs don't make a right. But the thing of it is, what they're doing, some of it is not really to the point where it's about George Floyd, but you got to realize all of it is tied into the same thing. Because if you feel like, okay, that's just like this here. If I seen you every day that you was on your way to school, right? I took your lunch money every day. You went to school and you never got nothing to eat. Every day I see you, I take your lunch money. You go to school, never get nothing to eat. And that one day that I feel like I'm hungry and I'm not going to go to school and not eat. And you come and try to get my money and I end up taking your money. Now you go to school hungry and ain't got nothing to eat. It's the same comparison that this country have been taking from blacks for so long. That's just like right now, we could have a 700-something credit score, walk into a bank and apply for a loan and get 20 to 30,000 less than someone of another color can walk in and ask for the same loan and get a business loan and get a better rate and have a lesser credit score than what we have. Then we go into the justice system. That's just like they have, just like when we used to have. You remember we used to have the lawyer used to come on the line.
Yes.
And you remember she said this, that it used to be some prosecutors you should already don't gave the people time before they don't even went in the courtroom before they even heard the case because of their color.
Yep, she sure did.
And that is you still taking things from someone that have no knowledge that things been took from them.
That's good.
So
That's
when
good.
they go out here and they have this anger that's up inside of them right now, they feel like that they are just getting something back that you have been taking from them for years.
Okay, let me do this.
Look wrong.
Let me do that, and you're absolutely right. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's not just George Lynch. It's a whole history of things that happened. George Lynch could have been the one straw that broke the camel's back and brought everything.
Floyd, not George Lynch. Who was George Lynch?
Oh, George Floyd. I don't know why I keep saying George Lynch, man. Because the man was lynched, brother. The man was lynched, and that's what's in my mind. That brother was lynched, man. Can't nobody say that. And what they did, they didn't use a rope. They used a knee to do it. They used a knee. They went away from the rope and they lynched that man with a knee. Put the knee in the back of his neck. Had two other people hold him down until he stopped breathing. Until his body. And another doctor has come out. And this was just yesterday. Say that he was actually dead before they transported him. So he was already dead.
Yes. He was strangled.
Yeah.
And they said it was a fixation of strangulation because you got to understand something, man. Listen, you could not hold nobody in that position for so long and they have any kind of intoxication in their body whatsoever, man. You have already cut off that man's airway.
Yep.
And this man was telling you, and he was crying out, telling you, I cannot breathe.
Yeah.
If you supposed to be someone that's upholding the law, when this man, he said, and then you have the one standing around saying, listen, he said he can't breathe, man. Get up off the man's neck for a moment. You already got him detained.
Yeah.
You got handcuffs on him. Where he going?
He's handcuffed behind his back. He can't even get up. He can't even push himself up.
I mean,
man.
where's he going?
Nowhere. Kirk, good morning.
And don't forget they had two other officers on the back of him holding his legs, so he was not a threat.
Exactly. Kirk, good morning. So how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Good. Hey, doing good. Kurt, we're talking about, are we living in perilous times? Kurt, what do you say to that?
Shit, man, we living in, man. I don't want to say it's perilous because it's not perilous for all, but we living in a time of a great awakening. What we were scared to do 50 years ago, we ain't scared to do no more. I think people starting to realize that if you genuinely want it, somebody is going to have to be willing to die for it. We can't, as Shakespeare would say, we can't go quietly until that good night. We can't live without a fight. We must go on. Man, at the end of the day, man, listen, if you have any human, first off, let me just say something to everybody who don't know. The prone position is banned in just about all 50 states. The position that they had that man laying in is called the prone position. That's why when you taught in crisis holds, if your hold goes to the ground and you wind up in a prone, before you even go any further with your crisis hold, it is your job as the staff to immediately roll that participant over. Immediately put them on their back. The reason being is because when you put somebody in a prone position, the ground is already suppressing their main columns, meaning their thoracic, their cervical, their thoracic, and their lombardic columns. That's basically their whole entire spinal cord. When you put somebody on a prone, basically what you're doing is you compressing everything to cement or to the ground, which is probably going to be cement or grass, but they already compressed. Now, when you put weight to that, all you doing is just shutting off air and oxygen levels. I saw a video yesterday of a guy who took the video, and he must have been, he probably is an editor because his eye was real sharp. That showed that it's a possibility that the EMTs that picked George up wasn't even EMTs, one. Two, if you pay real close attention, when they rolled him over on the gurney, on the straight back gurney, you can see that his life was gone then.
He was dead. He was dead.
He was dead then.
Yeah.
So they they tried to do a real good job of cover up in the age of information.
And the saddest part about it, I ran across this other clip. I have not heard this clip already. I have not heard it, but I heard some talk about it. I want y'all to listen to this. It's a 2-minute clip, and tell me. We'll comment after this. But let's listen to this clip.
And here at 4 o'clock tonight, the shooting of a man who was known to feed people barbecue for free, including police officers in West Louisville, has rocked our community. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt. Here's what we know. Last night, just after midnight, barbecue business owner David McAtee was with a group of people outside his business at 26th and Broadway, Dino's, outside a business there, when police and Kentucky National Guardsmen approached. In the video we're about to show you, recorded by Chris Smith, you will see the police attempting to break up the large crowd. One shot is fired. The chief says that came from somewhere in the crowd. Then the governor says both LMPD and the National Guard opened fire.
Go. In the car and leave. Let's go. I'm gone. Look at my keys. Okay, there you go. That's all you had to say. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah, get the guns out. Shots fired.
That's the video from Smith there recorded. As you see, police were asking people to leave. And as Chris Smith was saying on his own video, they were going to leave. In fact, he was on his way out. Governor Beshear says there are multiple videos from body cameras of the shooting, and he was told Mayor Fisher to make the video available to the public so they can see whether there's justification or not.
And I believe in seeing it can decide whether this was justified or whether it is cause for concern. While I have been given basic facts, I want the people of Kentucky to be able to decide for themselves, to not have to rely on anybody else, especially at this time, and with the feelings that I know are out there. My request is, let's put it out. Let's let people see it.
And what that is another black man being killed. He was just out there trying to feed people, wasn't doing anything. He had a history of feeding the homeless and different people in and around the community. He had a history, had his own business, but he had a history of feeding people, had a heart for people. Now he's dead. Now he's dead. Another case. Aubrey just happened. George Floyd just happened. Now they respectfully call him the barbecue man, because they say that in some of the other footage, they say that people know if they was hungry and they really didn't have any money or any means, they could go to the barbecue man and he will feed them. Now this brother's dead. Leonard, what's on your heart?
Understand, that's why them people came. And people come to kill you. Now, you can talk about it all you want, but a lot of the ideas that you have should be clashing right now. With all the propaganda that you've been fed all these years, you need to understand what's going on. Now, first of all, you still don't even know who killed it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a face that goes with the bullet that killed that man. That's what you need to eliminate. You need to, and see, I'm very strict about this. I do not have any love or concern for people who kill innocent men, women, and children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you grew up. I don't care how hard your life has been. No excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I will let God give you that mercy, because I don't have it for you. So whoever did what they did need to suffer. And they need to pay for what they did. And this is what's going to happen. We no longer will pay for the sins of white men. Do you understand? No longer will we pay for their sin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have to, that's the point of view you have to take. For the very simple fact, if you're looking for justice, you have to be just. Once you become just, it's easier. It's easier to live. I can say that when we talk about this, that, and the other, if you want to know the real issue, there are people whom you know whose spirit ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do business with them. Don't go along with them. Don't have anything to do with them. You need to understand that you must. Are you really separate from this BS? Are you? Because you could have been had paradise.
Exactly.
You could have been had paradise.
Mm-hmm.
But you choose to be upset. You choose to feel this way. Don't keep giving the enemy that path to you that way.
Mm-hmm. Let me go. Let me pull somebody else in. Andrea, are you still there?
I am still here.
Okay. What's up? What's on your heart right now? Another case. Another innocent black man gunned down and killed in the streets. What's on your heart?
It's sad to say that after a while, if you're not careful, you'll start getting numb to this stuff because it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because really when you think about it, they're so jealous of us. They're so jealous because have y'all ever seen other races try to be us? They try to imitate us, and it's so out there, and you know that's what they're trying to do. They can't even hide it. They can't even fake to be us. It's because they're jealous of our strength, and they're jealous of because we keep overcoming. So they just try, but we keep getting up. I mean, they just can't keep us down.
Mm-hmm.
When we had a black president, that should have opened up our minds to really see we can do anything we set our mind to do if we want to do it. But I just want to make this comment too. I do have to get out early today because I'm going to get on a conference call. But I did want to say this. We have to have enemies. We have to have enemies. And then he said that, and then he knew we were going to have enemies. So he said, I'm going to prepare a place for you at the table with them. And then if we don't have enemies, how are they going to be our footstools?
Mm-hmm.
See, we need our enemies just like we need our friends. We need them step stools.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I praise God for my haters. I praise God for people who talk about me and my situation. I thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know it's relevant. You took time out of your day when I wasn't even thinking about you to put your mouth on me, so I'm on your mind. That's why I want to be on your mind. And if you play around with me long enough and think on me too, I didn't converted you. I didn't change your whole way of thinking. So come and come in. So bring what you got to the table. But when you leave my presence, you shouldn't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be the same. Because my overall goal is to change the way you thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And get you on my team. Get you on a team that's moving. And two, and we do need to address this too. We need to address, we're upset with them killing us. But we kill us too.
Mm-hmm.
We steal from us too. We murder from us too. We keep each other back. We backbiting each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They still do that to each other. Have y'all ever heard them say the statement about the N-word? About the N-word? Well, how come we can't say it? Y'all say it. I mean, we throw it out there constantly too.
Mm-hmm.
And it really doesn't matter that I'm of the same color of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you shouldn't want to say to me, period.
Exactly.
That's a statement that they beat us and called us all our life. So why are you calling me that?
Okay, Andrew,
and
hold
then
on.
You get
hold
mad
on.
when Susie calls you that?
Okay, Andrew, hold on. I got a couple other calls. I got to pull a few more people in. Hold on for a second, sis. We got another call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Apostle Drew. God bless you all.
Hey, Apostle
Good to
Drew.
see you all.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm blessed and been listening for a little while.
Yes, sir. Talk to me. What's on your heart, brother? We got a lot going on this morning. What's on your heart?
Well, I was, if I can go back a minute to what you read in 2 Timothy 3
mm-hmm.
about the perilous time.
Yes, sir.
If you look up the Greek of what that means, it says pertaining to one who is inclined to violent and dangerous activity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it says these are demons. Okay. Especially those, they were demon possessed and were very fierce.
Mm-hmm.
So as additional step, we need to realize that we're dealing with demonic forces.
Yes, sir.
Operating in people, because the word says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Yes, there are wicked people, but on the same token, we have to understand that those are demonic forces driving them.
Exactly.
And our
exactly.
battle,
Hold on, caller.
Our battle has, all right.
No, not you.
Our battle has to be, yeah, okay.
No.
Our battle has to be in the spiritual realm.
Exactly. We have another caller from the 612 area code. 612 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Marcus Mays. I'm calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hey, Marcus, how you doing, sir?
Doing well. Just caught you guys on Facebook Live, so I thought I would call in. I just wanted to make one little comment. I just think that it's just a conversation that needs to be had. We continue to keep talking about systematic and systemic racism and all of that, but where is it all coming from? Isn't it coming from that Constitution that was written to make a white utopia?
Come on.
So why do we continue to keep living under a Constitution and not just changing the Constitution to include all people? Because that Constitution, still in that Constitution, we're only a third human. They may have put an amendment on it, but that Constitution still says we're only a third human. So I just wanted to throw that out there for the people. We need to fight for a new Constitution. We will never be included. No people from any race besides white people will ever be included in the United States Constitution. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you for calling. I definitely appreciate you. Annie, are you with us?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Annie. How you doing? Annie, we're talking about, are we living in perilous times? Are we living in perilous times? Annie, what do you say to that?
Oh, most definitely, we're living in perilous times. Yesterday was the day where it was. I watched television, I turned my phone on, and I'm like, negativity here, negativity there. So much going on in the world, and I just began to go into my prayer room and I began to pray, because we're just going to have to pray until something changes. It's so much going on, and the world is doing, because. Well, the people are protesting because they're hurt, and there's a lot of anger and pain there. And even in 2020, we still are being treated, not as an equal. And that bothers us. And young people, whereas we could be, more mature about things and consider things. But the young people don't care. All they know is they're angry, and they're going to take their frustrations out some kind of way. So, like I said before, I understand a lot of things going on, but we're going to have to just pray and pray harder, because there's so much happening, and we got someone in the driver's seat that is not stable, that loves a picture, that loves to make it about him. Yesterday, Raheem, when I saw his team had put together that video of him coming out of the smoke with the Bible, and I guess they're gonna probably do a commercial, some crazy commercial for him, in order to boost his campaign. I'm like, we are definitely in trouble. We're in trouble, but we're gonna have to pray as Christians, as a woman of God. We're going to have to just keep on, praying and giving things to God, and don't be worried about what we see, because the Lord has all power, and he wants us to pray. He wants us to pray for them. He wants us to pray that, that peace will come back into America. But I'm believing that we won't have any true peace until November the 4th. I'm believing that.
Yeah, until all this foolishness is over. Curtis, let me come to Curtis.
Yes.
Curtis, let me come to you for a second, Kurt. Let me unmute your phone here. Now, you said something to me yesterday about your president, and you called me. We talked about it. Kurt, did he have his Bible upside down?
Yeah. Then he had it right side up. Then he had it left side right. Then he had it right side left. He couldn't figure out how he was supposed to hold it. He couldn't figure out how he was supposed to hold it, how he was supposed to carry it. He couldn't listen. And
is that evil? Is that evil, Curtis?
Listen. I hear Sister Annie. Faith without works is dead. Prayer is just the start. Christian folks, this is a call to action. God is clearly sure. Okay, I'm gonna paraphrase for a minute, right? Can I just use my improvising skills as an actor?
Right.
So here's what's happening. Here's what I believe God is saying to the modern man. Now listen, son. I done came to you and told you about me. I done came to you and told you what I need you to do. I done even came to you and told you what I need you to think, what I need you to believe, what parts of me I need you to hold on to. I done came and told you that. I done came and told you who is going to seek to stop, kill, steal, and destroy everything that I have blessed you with. I have even showed you through literature where this has happened in your humanity. I have showed it to you, but yet you still do not want to do and or understand. So this time I'm going to put it in living color right in front of your face. I don't want no questions. I don't want to hear why. Listen, I'm going to show you exactly what the devil do. I'm going to show you exactly. And if you need a reference, I think we had this conversation before, Raheem. If you need a reference, go back to the Garden of Gethsemane. The devil came to Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. Did him with three things: food, life, and power. I'm going to say it again. He tempted him with food, life, and power. This time, all he did was, instead of using a halfback to hit the hole, he just told the guard to pull and hit the hole. That's all he doing. All he did was change the playbook a little bit. He tempted these people with food. Well, this time he not tempting, he threatening. What I mean is, he cut these people food stamps. These people food stamps been cut by almost $4 billion over the last 2 years. People who need food stamps, people like my soon-to-be mom-in-law, some of my family members around the city who are barely living at the poverty level and or what is considered the working poor, need that assistance. He threatening their life. Annie, when you seen that, that was not no video. He actually did that live and direct, where he had the National Guard and the police shoot tear gas into a crowd just so that he could walk and take that picture. What kind of human being do we have in the White House? That is not a human being. I'm sorry.
Non-caring, brother. Non-caring. Just don't care.
The last thing I'll say, Raheem, is power. Is power. He is showing a particular set of people that if you follow me, everything you see and touch will be yours.
Donald,
y'all.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Donald, what's on your heart, Donald?
I thought about something while y'all was talking. When they took all of the captives from, let me try to say it right. If I don't say it right, y'all excuse me. Don't even matter. From Jerusalem, they burned the city and they took the spoil. When the Israelites left Egypt, they took the spoil. In wars, when they captured or burned down a city, even Jericho, they took the spoil. What am I talking about? It's like looting is just about a biblical precept. Way out there now. I don't know if anybody see this, but it's like, and I don't blame our young folks or those that are doing it. It's like what they're saying is, I'm gonna get what's mine. You owe me that. And I'm not justifying it, no. I'm just saying that some of the stuff that they appreciating, it was on our backs that they got it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to justify it because it's crime. But many times, over and over and over and over again, when the conqueror conquers, he take what you got too. You don't just take you. He take your treasures. And I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. But let me ask you.
If you check,
let me no, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm gonna throw something else at you real quick.
That's just something that in the mindset, it can be justifiable. I'm not saying it's right now because that's a little out there.
Okay. Now let me ask you
but
this.
If we were ever to conquer a country or a nation, that would become ours.
Let me ask you this question.
Is theirs now.
Exactly. Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna go to Anna, then I'm gonna go to Leonard. The video the clip that I played about the barbecue man being gunned down. What went through your heart when you heard that? In light of everything else that's going on already.
It bothers me because just like, why would it's the same thing when you see the police car plowing into the crime. Arrest him. What are you doing driving into the crime? He using that vehicle as a weapon. Why are you shooting somebody in the face with your rubber bullet?
Yeah.
Putting the eye out.
Exactly.
That's a crime. So it's just mistreating, using your authority. And crazy man, reading from 2 Corinthians. I do that.
Wow. And Anna, what's on your heart, Anna?
There's a lot in my heart. First of all, enough is enough. This so-called barbecue man that was killed in Kentucky, I had to write down notes because I'll forget, that was killed in Kentucky. I don't know if they're going to use the excuse that he violated curfew. I don't know what they're going to try to say.
If that be the case, hold on. If that be the case, hold on, everybody mute your line. Mute your lines. The caller that just called in, mute your line. Hold on. Hold on. Somebody. Hey, Andrea. Whoever that is in the background, somebody's in the background talking. Mute your line for me. Somebody in the background talking. Yeah, good deal. But my thing is that violating curfew? And that to me, that's not a death sentence.
Absolutely not. I'm with you 2000%. This is somebody who helped the community. I try to do a lot of things for the community and don't like people, talking about what I do because I do it out of love. If I could, I'd feed the whole world,
Yes, you would.
Unfortunately, I don't have it like that where I can. I was looking up, and I hope I say his name correctly. His name is Andy Bashir. He's a Democrat who holds office in Kentucky. I hope that he does the right thing. I'm not sure who the mayor was. I wasn't sure where exactly that happened in Kentucky, but like we have Keisha Lance Bottom, who did the correct thing when these police officers did what they did, tasing this couple. It's not the appropriate time to continue this, doing these things that are not are hurting other human beings, especially of the brown and black community, especially black, I'll say in particular, because it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And when I heard Kurt saying that he was placed there, okay, so first of all, what I heard Kurt say, that the Bible was this way, that way, I don't know if he's talking about the interview. I did not watch because I'm just sick and tired of it. But I will tell you guys something. I come from a family that's full of pastors, full of people that lead in the church, okay? I actually got a video from a family member, and people were actually speaking in tongues, saying that Donald Trump was put there in office because God wants him there. To think of this, I don't know if he's like Hitler, that was an antichrist put there in place, because I believe there's been antichrists such as Napoleon that are put in place until it's time for our Father to come. I truly believe that. Now, to think that this guy, because another thing, I've been thinking about this lately. If there's a war going on, he could stay in office. We have to be smarter than this and consider all of this, because if there's a war going on even in our own country, as far as I'm concerned, I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, Kurt, who knows history, and Leonard, you know a lot about this, correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a war going on within our country, he could stay in office. Is this really what we want? We need to think, and we need to think ahead of time. I'm really angry that somebody who was doing for the community and helping out was just murdered. Another person murdered right in front of our eyes, right in front of, I didn't know, when did this happen, Raheem?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So it's another person who was murdered right in front of our eyes. Enough is enough. Like, I'm sick and tired of watching it. I'm sick and tired. I mean, that causes people PTSD. It's traumatic. You're watching these people, and he's helping the community. Enough. I'm sick and tired.
Let me do this. Absolutely. I got another caller. I want to go to the caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Bishop.
Bishop, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm blessed. Good morning. Good morning.
Bishop, we're asking the question. Are we living in perilous times? Are we living in perilous times, Bishop? What do you say to that?
Yeah, sir, we are living in perilous times. In fact, when I spoke on that Sunday, talking about the signs of the time and judgment. And I also told him that God is not pleased with what's going on. And he's tired of you repenting, because you come to him, God, I'm sorry, God, I'm sorry. And after everything to calm down, then you go back to doing what you were doing. So, man, we're working repentance. There's really no repentance as it relates. I was listening to Anna, and I was listening to everybody. I've been watching y'all live, but I'm gonna say this. I appreciate Anna. Anna, I like your hair, by the way. But the way it looks.
Thank you.
God for everything. We say God did this. God put this man here. God didn't put Trump there. The people, and I'm talking about the electoral colleges that made him the president. Because we have a system in place that is false, that has faults in it. It's error, flawed in every aspect. Hillary Clinton got the popular vote. She got 3 million votes over Donald. So if the people put him there, then on our side, yeah, but through the electoral college side, got there. But I was thinking about when Jesus Christ and the people had an option to either pick Jesus or to pick Barabbas. And they give us Barabbas, who was a murderer. And the people that are corrupt choose corrupt individuals. So we're quick to say, God put him there. God didn't put that man there.
The people of the electoral college put him there, and he is an agitator. And he is set in place to divide, because that's what he is doing. When he say, if you loot, we shoot. And based on what you're saying about the man in Kentucky that was doing this barbecuing and curfew is in place, but anybody that has good discretion and judgment knows not to go along and shoot anybody. You can say, sir, there's a curfew in place. Could you hurry up what you're doing? Appreciate it. Give me one of them rib sandwiches while you're at it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Don't shoot
the police.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying
that's the problem that we have to face and deal with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? I'll come right back to you. Another murder, Leonard. Another murder.
But this is, where I'm different. This has been for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what every day, man. I can't think of, even when I was sitting doing it as a task. File after file after file, case after case after case after case. Y'all just it's man. Why did it have to come to this? Why couldn't you have just seen what wrong was in the beginning? How you sat down and let all these white, racist, wicked devils get in positions of authority over you when all you had to do was walk into a voting booth?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you had to do. That's democracy. But then all you want to preach to yourself and your people is the wretchedness of the oppressor. Well, we 3/5 of a person. No, Negro, you're 3/5 of a person. Is that how you feel about yourself? Then stop repeating it. Well, they ain't gonna never accept us. I ain't in this for their acceptance. Be a man. Quit thinking like a slave all the time. Quit throwing your own pity party for your excuse not to be better.
Mm.
That's your excuse for being mediocre, for not being better. Oh, I'm just this. Oh, I'm just that. Yeah, you probably are. I'll dig your hole for you.
Mm.
Because you're useless that way. Now, when you want to be a black man, start acting like one.
Stand up.
One that's been here forever.
Mm-hmm.
One who has the covenant. See, if you knew that's why I don't throw history away. I don't use it to judge how I act, but it's to let you know this where you were, this what you were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but my mother never let us go and come without saying, who you are and whose you are.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think like you, black man. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't never. How you even get to believing that black ain't beautiful?
Mm.
That was a lie the first time I heard it. But you sitting there accepting this man's opinion of you is wretched in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Get up off your knees.
Mm-hmm.
And hold your head up and act like you somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of sitting around here rehearsing his lines. Well, every time you talk to a Negro, well, after 400 years and this year, you would have thought you'd have had this down packed by now. That's what you'd have thought. You'd have thought you'd been better by now. You would have thought you'd have had more by now because of what you went through. You would have thought that.
Jesse said it. I am somebody.
You've been somebody. And that's the problem. We're talking about feelings. You can't go back and talk feelings after you allow people to write law.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Martial law means they can do whatever they feel justified. It's like 10 times probable cause. Even if it's a lie or not, it's still legal. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Kirk, talk to me.
Well, Anna said something that made so much sense when she was talking about that war effort. Because this man has been trying to sow the seed of war in America ever since probably his second and or third week in office. because he knows that more than likely, most of the time, the country will not change presidents in the midst of a war.
Can't. Cannot.
Well, one of the things that I just got through my phone, maybe it'll help some folks realize that what you're doing on a peaceful level will work. It says court overturns qualified immunity in police killing of Black veteran who accidentally set off his life aid device. Basically, he was in the house and he accidentally set his life aid device off. Police showed up to his house. They get in the house. He trying to tell him, look, I don't need no services. I'm good. I accidentally shut it off and shots fired, and we know the end result. But qualified immunity, if I'm not mistaken, Anna and/or Leonard can probably explain this a little better. But qualified immunity basically means that whoever the killer is, he qualifies that he's immune to prosecution. So the court overturned that. It was in White Plains. I want to say White Plains is in New York. It's either New York or New Jersey. But it was in White Plains. It's a shame that we never heard about this. But the guy's name that was killed, his name was Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. So once again, we have a group of people who are overreaching strictly off of devilish stereotype. And I'm glad that, thanks, Leonard, because you just brought me up to speed on something with the congressional thing. I was just reading the Constitution yesterday. The president realistically cannot declare war. He can only emphasize the need of war. But the president does not have the power to declare war. That must be declared in the Congress. So it is imperative, like Leonard said earlier, that we get our hind parts off the couch and we vote. And the truth be told, you don't have to get off the couch right here. You could get from the couch and go to your living room table and sit down and fill out that ballot that
come on.
So hard to stop and or close the United States Post Office. It's a reason why he's trying to do that. It's a reason why he does not want the mail-in ballot. They're trying to suppress the vote.
Yes.
So all I say is that sounds like a good one. All I say is
somebody burped in it.
Yeah, it sounds like a good one too, bro.
I mean, I heard that too. I heard
stress.
Hey, Kurt, I was gonna let it blow. I wasn't gonna say that, but you put them on front screen, so I gotta acknowledge. Yeah, somebody let one go, brother.
So I gotta say that, listen, we have seen, all of us are learned people. We have seen the playbook. Most of us know the playbook better than most of us on this phone. So if I can, I'll use a football terminology. I'd be doggone if I'm going to be a defensive coordinator and allow for this dude to run the ball straight up the 2-hole for the whole entire game. And I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do it right here. No. We gotta make some changes. We gotta defensively make a change to him coming up that 2-hole. So it's just time for us to realistically peep the playbook, man, and devise our defensive strategy to stop his playbook, because he I swear to you, man, if you really look at it, and for my pastors and my preachers and my organizations of higher learning in terms of theology, if you really truly look at it spiritually, the same exact playbook is being ran, the same ways and everything. So, I pray, I hope for the best, and I pray for better, bro. You know what I'm saying? I pray that God just, I pray that God pushes man to a point to where man says, okay, I'm listening. I get it.
Let me do this. Let me do this too, Kurt. This is something I just pulled up, man. It's a trailer for the movie, The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. I'm sorry, Chamberlain. I haven't seen this yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. And this is the trailer. Based on a true story. It's actually showing pictures of him. He's in the bed. He took his thing with around his neck, and it automatically and it went off.
Mr. Chamberlain, this is Candace Wade, Lifeguard Medical Alerts. This line is being recorded. You just received an activation from your pendant. Do you have an emergency?
They calling
I'm
them.
not getting a response from you. I'm going to dispatch emergency services now.
White Plains Police. We're here for a welfare check.
Open this door! You're not coming into my home! Help me! Help me! I need help!
That was the trailer right there. And they showed how they brutally broke his door down, went in, and he was trying to hold the door back, but it was so many of them, they forced their way in. And you heard when he said, y'all are not coming into my home. And shortly after that, the inevitable happened.
67-year-old Marine veteran.
Yes, sir.
7 years old. You know, and you know what what really get me is I don't know if anybody else have thought about this. I'm just curious. Has anybody thought about the hypocrisy of it all? Because, man, you know what? Thank God Bishop on this phone. As a police officer, right? It is the idea to properly investigate every situation. I know you got to respond. I know you got to respond. It's got to be, quick, fast, and in a hurry. You got to absorb what you see and blah, 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 blah. Right? But what happened to, I don't know, man, proper investigation before you just go to the, it seems like everything is just to the extreme.
Let's go to him. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Listening to that, and I'll explain the process. If someone calls in a welfare check and we arrive to the scene and we tap on the door, police, that should automatically say, okay, please, let me see what's going on. Police officer will identify who he is and then the nature of him being there. If the person refuses to open the door, it leads us, because we don't have time to go get a warrant if he's holding someone captive. So we then will kick in the door to go in to investigate what's really going on. Because if you're not doing anything wrong, then the police come. We are the law. We execute the authority. And people think, well, you don't own my house. If your house resides within the city limit, and there's a city police department, and they're called to the location, we now own the house. Because you're paying the note. You're in the county or the city that we police.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say. So basically, just for clarity, I don't mean to cut you off, but basically what I'm hearing you say is individual really don't own anything. Because under
the taxes, right?
Yeah, exactly. But under the right situations, you don't own it. They can go in and do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it.
Yeah, well, not when they want to, but it has to be a cause. There has to be a welfare check, a call called in, or a threat from that location. Someone's being threatened, or shots are being fired from this location. Once the call is dispatched to us, we then come to the scene. What I wrote something this morning, and I said, I'm tired of the injustice that's being imposed upon the citizens by men that wear a badge. The badge is not a cloak for injustice. The badge is a cloak for justice, and we're sworn to serve and protect. And what I saw down with George Floyd, what I saw with Anthony Hill, what I saw with some of these other locations, New York, where they go in and they over excise their authority. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and I will never stand with any officer that does wrong. So what people have to understand, the process of law. Not, in fact, this is my house, you can't come in. If we're dispatched to the scene, we do have the right to come in, whether you let us in voluntarily or we kick the door in, because we're sworn to protect and to serve. But to shoot somebody over some barbecue, or to shoot somebody or grab somebody and choke them out, that they cannot breathe and they die, that's not part of our training. And a group of officers and myself have been meeting this week to talk about the brutality that has been imposed on the African American community. But the thing that really pisses me off, and I'm not going to keep trying to do all the talking, is the thing that really pisses me off, or should I say upsets me, is the fact, man, that some black officers are doing the same thing to black individuals. And they already know it's a hard struggle. And I'm going to digress in this fashion, and I love my black brothers and sisters. But just say, hey, I'm a black man. No, doggone it, I'm a man. I don't even look at the color. I'm a man first. The color of my skin has nothing to do with anything. But when we look at in totality, Indians are on reservations. Look at the number of Indians that died during the coronavirus because they did not provide them the necessary means to be cured or get treated. They treat them just as bad as they treat the black man. They care less about the Hispanics. If you're not white, you ain't right, and you don't mean nothing to me in the minds of some. But we got some of those brothers and sisters who are Caucasian who feel our plight, but they can only feel it to a certain degree because we're the one who's walking in it.
Exactly. Leonard,
they empathize.
Yeah.
They're not walking where we're walking in.
Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
One, I'm glad he has that experience as a police officer, because like Kurt said, let's go to him and talk. Because what people don't understand is you gave this power to them. Take it away. Simply take it away from them. Don't negotiate it at all. Like one, for anybody to put on, like I've been in the military before, right? And there's this notion that because you have a higher rank, you have a right to do whatever you want to do to people of lower rank. You understand? Because they give rank to everybody.
Yeah.
You understand? Anybody. They don't just give it to the good people or the right people. You understand? So that's what the community has given. Like Bishop say, think about what he said. If we come to your house to do a welfare check and we determine this, and we don't care nothing about the people in their house. Nothing at all. And then they'll sit here and do this. No, I'm not talking about what you ought to do. I'm talking about what you did. Then you want to get in here and talk about, I thought I saw a gun. Go to jail for the rest of your life because you thought you saw a gun. You don't have a right to carry a badge and a gun. They are unfit for duty. Ain't no matter of law can talk me out of righteousness. Do you understand?
Come on.
I live by God's law. And anybody who believes that they have a right to possess another person is a wretch. Anybody that believes that they have a right to take what somebody else has is a wretch. I have the right to defend him to the end of my life. Because I'm an officer, I got a right to do this. You got a right to lay on that ground and bleed. That's what you have a right to do.
Good day. Donald, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I'm voting for the next president of the United States.
Oh, Lord. Hey, look here. Hold on. Leonard, you're on mute, brother. Go ahead.
At least you'll get justice, brother.
I know it. I know it.
Good deal. Good deal.
But, there should be, you know, we talking about abuse of authority, and you know, so many times it seems like there's another way to cause a person to surrender.
Yes.
That doesn't cause them to lose their life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you got a taser. The man is in handcuffs, so he's already apprehended.
Yes, sir. Laid on the ground, face down.
So take him to the car and take him to jail.
Yep.
And let justice do it. But you are judge and jury, and you decide unlawfully that this man should die.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it's a wrongful death, is a crime. And what are they waiting on? And anybody else involved? If I'm in the car with you, and you go in the store, or I go in the store and rob the store, both of us are guilty of that crime.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the store, rob, and shoot somebody, kill them, both of us are guilty of murder.
Yeah.
That's the law.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty by association. So, you know, I'm missing it. I'm just.
And people have to understand that's what qualified immunity means.
Mm-hmm.
Is I can avoid prosecution. I'm immune. I'm not even responsible for what I've done.
Wow.
Because I got a badge on.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can hide behind that badge and do all types of wrong. You got to think about it. When law enforcement, where does right come in at? Where does it? Because it's not there.
It's not there. No.
You wouldn't even think about it. You could stop this whole occupation right now. If black people, if everybody else doing why don't you stop doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And see what happens.
Exactly.
No more occupation.
No,
You understand?
Go ahead.
You know, and I'm listening to Leonard, and I feel Leonard's passion, and I respect his views and opinions. And if you remember yesterday, I believe it was Anna who said, it ain't all together the blacks that are doing most of this looting and rioting.
Right.
They're outside agitating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but yet the blame is going to fall back on us.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
Because once that person breaks that window, and oh man, the window, you know, at Neiman Marcus is busted, man. Let's go in there and get this. They're gonna catch the black man running out. They ain't gonna say nothing about the white person who went in there first, who broke the window, went in and took dust and soap, and then come running out, and then the blacks just followed in suit. The problem that I'm having, I'm about peaceful protesting. I really am. But I'm also about obeying the laws that are there, that are put in place.
Yeah.
And you will never eradicate the law enforcement. But I take my hat off to Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom and the chief of police in Atlanta that fired the individual that tased that boy from Morehouse College, and the girl got out of the car. I appreciate them. The same thing in DeKalb County. Our chief, Jack Lumpkin, our new police chief, and our CEO dismissed any police officer that has overexercised their authority by bringing harm, inflicting harm or death on anybody. There is a process.
Yes.
And to go by the process of the department, they will terminate those individuals and allow them to face prosecution. So this is one of the things I will defend on that part with certain counties and certain cities that really have a police department that really enforces. And in Houston, Texas, the chief of police got out there in the middle of the street, in the middle of the protest, and rallied with the people to show solidarity and union.
He sure did. Sure did. I saw that. But listen, it's time for us to get out of here for today, man. It's 9:01, man. We usually try to get out of here on time. Leonard say, look here, man. I stay with you until 9. At 9:30, I got to go. Got to go 9:30. I got to go. Leonard, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, bro?
Man, at 3 o'clock, if you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dkmradio.com.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Donald Toussaint.
Yeah, man.
Pray us out, brother.
Okay. God, Father, we we praise you, we magnify you, we lift you up. We thank you for who you are continuously in our lives. Now, God, we ask, oh Heavenly Father, that we would just yield to your will and your way in this land, in this country, and individually in our lives. We pray for those that have suffered loss, their families, God. We know that everything works out for your good, so we patiently wait on you. Bless you now, God. We praise you. Bring us and lead us and guide us in this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. It is now 9:02 with overtime, y'all. We're overtime a little bit, but I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, thank you for allowing DK and Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. We're about to get out of here. It's been a great day. Pastor Leonard just smiling. I don't know what he's smiling at. Pastor Leonard is over there smiling. Something is going on. When Pastor Leonard gets to smiling, you better watch yourself. Watch yourself. I'm gonna tell you, because
man,
something is in the midst.
I'm gonna know. You shouldn't have did that, Raheem.
What's that?
You should have said that. You know what really just brought a smile to my face?
What's that?
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Come on, come on.
I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, and they comfort me.
Mm-hmm.
Get that in your spirit.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And see, and see, there's so much tied in that, though, Linda. People they read it, but they don't take it all.
I feel like shouting. I've heard it all my life. But if you've been a Christian long enough, and you understand our brother David, who's that attributed to,
come on,
man, I bet you can start going a little bit further in your life.
Come on.
That's
yes.
it, man.
Thy Lord, the rod and thy staff.
Come on, man.
See, people don't, they don't get it, Leonard. They don't get it.
I've been in that valley, bro.
Exactly. and we look at, we've been in that valley, man. And like I say, and truth of the matter, before this journey of life is over, we may enter that journey that valley a couple of more times. We may enter that valley, but how much do you believe? Yeah. How much faith do you have?
Right.
Do you have the faith to know that? Yeah. You look around and you say, "Oh man,
before I preach, Raheem."
Huh?
Stop before I preach.
Hey, I see you about to go in there.
Stop, Raheem. Just stop.
I'm just saying, man. That's what it is, man. Like I said, you look around, man. You look around and you don't always talk about that rear view mirror. You look in that rear view mirror and you see all the things that he's brought you out of. You see all the valley that you're in, and you look and you go back and you look down and you see how deep that valley was, and you know what? You realize that I dug this valley myself. I dug it, and now I'm in it. I'm in it. Majority of the time when you find yourself in that valley, it's a lot. What's that fancy word I'm looking for? You created it yourself. You created it yourself. You know what I mean? And so you have even if it's not all of it, you have a big part in it. You had a big part of creating that valley that you're in right now.
And it's just such a powerful verse that came to me, and I do it constantly because you have to go through that thing, man, and really understand about the table you're sitting at.
Come on.
We got to sit here with these enemies, but we're going to allow our anointing to spill over on them.
Yeah.
But now, if you don't come to that table, if you don't want to talk about this thing, you're going to leave us no other choice.
Exactly. And so we have to sit around the table, and we have to have that open and honest dialogue with each other. Why do you hate me? What did I do to you? What did I? No. You say you hate black people, but what did I do to you?
Well, like I said, now it's past that. It's not that conversation. Stand down. I'm not a negotiator. Stand down.
Yeah. See, you want the military term. Stand down. You want military on them, brother. Woo!
Because we have to understand. Man, think of how beautiful this place is, and how much better it would be if we were behaving beautifully.
Yeah. Exactly.
Come on, man.
Come a day at a time. Yes, sir.
I know we're out of time. It's just when you get like that, you can walk up the bias and say, "I'm going to cut your head off."
Yeah, exactly. Before I leave, you will find your demise. Before I leave.
And you know, God will bless you, man, if you let it. You don't have to pick up. Sometimes you don't have to pick up not a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get a certain, you talk to me on the phone in business and things like that. And then when I'm sitting in front of you, and then you will know the minute you become cross with me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because
wow.
you bring that to the table, black man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you bow your head.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you bow your head. Don't you go along with the program just to go along with it. You can't sit here and talk about how upset and offended you are. And you sit right in there every day and convict innocent black people to prison with your red bottom shoes, your degrees, your HBCUs, and everything else. And you stand by and you watch them do this to our people.
Who's the guilty one? Who's
guilty?
Mm-hmm.
We just need to get right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, look here. If we start this right here, we open this door, man. It's gonna be 2 more hours, brothers. It's gonna be 2 more hours. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. It's
That's
gonna be
your fault. We ain't do Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. I know, right?
Hey, Raheem, you're the man. Let me say this, and I'm gonna get off the phone. I got to go somewhere. But I appreciate DKM Media and Associates. I appreciate Frank and Kurt and Donald and Leonard and Anna and everyone that calls in and make their comments. But you are opening a platform to enlighten, to educate, to bring awareness to the people, whether it be in the 58 different countries or America as we stand today, to bring some solidarity, unity, and strength to help enlighten and educate. And if we listen to people like Kurt and Leonard and Frank and Anna and Donald and me and you, the people will get some understanding. Yeah. So I take my hat off to DKM Media Group and Associates.
Praise God.
So as I get ready to leave, as the late, great Don Cornelius used to say, peace, love, and soul.
And hair grease.
There you go.
Yeah. Listen, we're about to get out of here. It is now 9:09. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take this light out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Y'all have a great day, and if you don't mind, love each other. Love each other. Be blessed.